Action.
Why dost thou lead these men about the streets?
We make holiday to see Caesar and to rejoice in his triumph.
Wherefore rejoice? What conquest brings ye home, you blocks, you stones, you worse than senseless things? Knew you not Pompey? Many a time and oft have you climbed up the walls and battlements to see great Pompey pass the streets of Rome. Run to your houses, fall upon your knees, and pray to your God's countrymen for this fault. Yeah.
See where their basest metal be not moved. Go you down that way, towards the Capitol. This way will I. Disrobe the images if you do find them.
Oh, may we do so? Thou knowest it is the feast of Lupercal.
It is no matter. Let no images be hung with Caesar's trophies.
Antony, set on. Leave no ceremony out.
Caesar.
Huh? Who calls?
Beware the Ides of March.
What man is that?
A soothsayer bids you beware the Ides of March.
Set them before me. Let me see their face.
Lady, come from the throng. Look upon Caesar.
What sayest thou to me now? Speak once again.
Beware the Ides of March.
She's a dreamer. Let us leave her. Pass!
Will you go see the order of the course?
Not I.
I pray you, do.
I am not gamesome. I do lack some part of that quick spirit that is in Antony. Let me not hinder your desires, Cassius. I'll leave you.
Brutus, I do observe you now of late. I have not from your eyes that gentleness and show of love as I was wont to have.
Be not deceived, Cassius. Vexed I am of late with passions of some difference, conceptions only proper to myself. Let not therefore my good friends be grieved, among which number, Cassius, be you one.
Then I must have mistook your passions. Tell me, good Brutus, can you see your face?
No, Cassius, for the eye sees not itself, but by reflection, by some other thing.
'Tis just. And it is very much lamented, Brutus, that you have no such mirrors as will turn your hidden worthiness into your eye, that you might see your shadow. I have heard where many of the best respect in Rome, that groan beneath this age's heavy yoke, have wished that noble Brutus had his eyes.
Into what dangers would you lead me, Cassius, that you would have me seek into myself for that which is not in me?
Then be prepared to hear, Brutus. And since you know you cannot see yourself so well as by reflection, I, your glass, will modestly discover to yourself that of yourself which you yet not know of.
What means this shouting? I do fear the people choose Caesar for their king.
Aye. Do you fear it? Then must I think you would not have it so?
I will not, Cassius. Yet I love him well. Wherefore do you hold me here so long? What is it that you would impart to me? If it be aught toward the general good, set honor in one eye, and death in the other, and I will look on both indifferently.
I know that virtue to be in you, Brutus, as well as I know your outward favor, while honor is the subject of my story. I cannot tell what you and other men think of this life, but for my single self, I was born free as Caesar. So were you. We both have fed as well, and we both can endure the winter's cold as well as he. He had a fever when he was in Spain, and when the fit was on him, I did mark how he did shake. 'Tis true. This god did shake. Alas, he cried, give me some drink, Trebonius, as a sick child. Yea, gods. It doth amaze me that a man of such a feeble temper should so get the start of the majestic world and bear the palm alone.
I do believe these applauses are for some new honors that are heaped on Caesar.
My man, he doth bestride the narrow world like a colossus, and we petty men walk under his huge legs and peep about to find ourselves dishonorable graves. Men at some time are masters of their fates. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves, that we are underlings, Brutus and Caesar. What should be in that Caesar? Why should that name be sounded more than yours? Now is it Rome indeed, and room enough, when there is in it but one only man?
But you would work me too. I have some aim. How have I thought of this and of these times I shall recount hereafter. For this present I would not, so with love I might entreat you be any further moved. What you have said, I will consider what you have to say. I will with patience hear and find a time to answer such high things. Till then, my noble friend, chew upon this. Brutus had rather be a villager than to repute himself a son of Rome under these hard conditions as this time is like to lay upon us.
I am glad that my weak words have struck but thus much show of fire from Brutus.
The games are done and Caesar is returning.
Casca will tell us what the matter is.
Mira, Cassius, sus ojos llenos de envidia. Ella piensa mucho, pero no habla. Y eso es una combinación muy peligrosa.
No le tienes que tener miedo. Ella no es peligrosa. Ella es una honrada romana. Bien hecha.
Debería de ser más gordita. Pero no le tengo miedo. Si fuera capaz de temer a alguien, Cassius sería la primera mujer que yo evitaría. Ella nunca sonríe. Y personas como tal nunca están contentas mientras alguien tenga un rango más alto que ellas. Y por eso son muy peligrosas.
Caesar! Why, you pulled me by the cloak. Would you speak with me?
Aye, Casca. Tell us what had chanced that Caesar looked so sad.
Why, you were with him, were you not?
I should not then ask Casca what had chanced.
Why, there was a crown offered him. And being offered him, he put it by with the back of his hand thus, when the people fell a-shouting.
What was the second noise for?
Why, for that too.
They shouted thrice. What was the last cry for?
Why? For that too.
Was a crown offered him thrice?
Oh, Mary was. And he put it by thrice, every time gentler than the other. And at every putting by, mine honest neighbors shouted.
Who offered him the crown?
Why, Antony.
Tell us the manner of it, gentle Casca.
I can as well be hanged as tell the manner of it. It's mere foolery. I saw Mark Antony offer him a crown. It was one of these coronets, and as I told you, you put it by once. For all that, to my thinking, he would fain have had it. Then he offered it again. He put it by again, but to my thinking, he was very loath to lay his fingers off it. Then he offered it a third time. He put it the third time by. The rabblemen hooted and clapped their chapped hands and threw up their sweaty nightcaps and uttered such a deal of stinking breath because Caesar refused the crown that it had almost choked Caesar, for he swooned and fell down at it. And for mine own part, I durst not laugh for fear of opening my lips and receiving the bad air.
But soft, I pray you. What did Caesar swoon?
But 'tis very like he hath a falling sickness.
No. Caesar hath it not, but you and I and honest Casca, we have the falling sickness.
I know not what you mean by that, but I am sure Caesar fell down.
What said he when he came onto himself?
He said, if he had done or said anything amiss, he desired their worships to think it was his infirmity. 3 or 4 wenches where I stood cried, alas, good soul, and forgave him with all their hearts. If Caesar had stabbed their mothers, they would have done no less.
And after that, he came thus sad away.
Aye. I can tell you more news, too. Marulus and Flavius, for pulling scarves of Caesar's images, are put to silence. There was more foolery yet if I could remember it. Fare you well.
Casca, will you sup with me tonight?
No, I'm promised forth.
Will you dine with me tomorrow?
Aye. If I be alive and your dinner worth eating.
Good. I will see you then.
Farewell, both.
What a blunt fellow's this grown to be.
His rudeness is a sauce to his good wit, which gives us appetite to better digest his words.
And so it is. For this time I will leave you. Tomorrow, if you please to speak with me, come home to me, and I will wait for you.
I will do so. Until then, think of the world. Well, Brutus, thou art noble. Yet I see thy honorable metal may be rot from that it is disposed. For who's so firm that cannot be seduced? Caesar doth bear me hard, but he loves Brutus. If I were Brutus now and he were Cassius, he should not humor me. I will this night, in several hands, and at his windows throw writings all tending to the great opinion that Rome holds of his name, wherein Caesar's ambition shall surely be glanced at. And after this, let Caesar seat him sure, for we will shake him. Or worse things endure.
Good evening, Casca. Why are you breathless?
Are you not moved? When all the sway of earth shakes like a thing unfirm? Oh, Trebonius, I have seen tempests, and I have seen the ambitious ocean swell and rage and foam, but never till tonight, never till now, did I go through a tempest dropping fire. Either there is a civil strife in heaven, or else the world too saucy with the gods incenses them to send destruction. And I believe these are portentous things unto the climate that they do point upon.
Indeed, it is a strange disposed time. But men may construe things after their fashion, clean from the purpose of the things themselves. Go Caesar to the Capitol tomorrow.
He doth.
Good night then, Casca. This disturbed sky is not to walk in.
Farewell, Trebonius.
Who's there?
A Roman.
Casca by your voice.
Your ear is good. Cassius, what night is this?
Very pleasing night to honest folks.
Whoever knew the heavens menace so?
Those that have known the earth so full of faults.
It is the part of men to fear and tremble, when the most mighty gods by tokens send such dreadful heralds to astonish us.
You are dull, Casca. You look pale and gaze and put on fear, and cast yourself in wonder to see the strange impatience of the heavens, Now could I, Casca, name to thee a man most like this dreadful night, a man no mightier than thyself or me, and fearful as these strange eruptions are.
To Caesar that you mean, is it not, Cassius?
Let it be who it is.
Indeed. They say the senators tomorrow mean to establish Caesar as a king.
I know where I will wear this dagger then. Cassius from bondage will deliver Cassius. What trash is Rome? What rubbish and what offal when it serves to illuminate so vile a thing as Caesar. But, oh grief, where hast thou led me? I perhaps speak this before a willing bondman.
You speak to Casca, and to such a one that is no flaring telltale. Hold my hand, and I will set this foot of mine as far as who goes farthest.
There's a bargain made. Now know you, Casca, I have moved already some certain of the noblest-minded Romans to undergo with me an enterprise of honorable, dangerous consequence. Most bloody, fiery, and most terrible.
Stand close a while, for here comes one in haste.
'Tis Cinna. I do know her by her gait. She's a friend. Cinna, where haste you so?
To find out you. Who's that, Metellus Cimber?
No, it is Casca, one incorporate to our attempts. Am I not stayed for, Cinna?
I'm glad, Aunt. There's 2 or 3 of us have seen strange sights.
Am I not stayed for? Tell me.
Yes. You are. Oh, Cassius, if you could but win the noble Brutus to our party.
Be you content, Cinna. Take you this paper. And look you, throw it in at Brutus's window. Come, Casca, you and I will yet ere day see Brutus at his house. Come, and ere day we will awake him and be sure of him.
Lucius! Lucius, I say! Oh, it were my fault to sleep so soundly. Oh, when, Lucius, when? Awake, I say! But, Lucius!
Called you, my lord?
Get me a taper in my study.
Will, my lord?
It must be by his death. And for my part, I know no personal cause to spurn at him, but for the general good he would be crowned. How that might change his nature. There's the question. It is the bright day that brings forth the adder and that craves weary walking. Crown him. That. And then I grant we put a sting in him that at his will he may do danger with. The abuse of greatness is when it disjoins remorse from power. And to speak truth of Caesar, I have not known when his affection swayed more than his reason. But 'tis a common proof that lowliness is young ambition's ladder, whereto the climber upward turns his face. But once he once attains the utmost round, he then unto the ladder turns his back, looks in the clouds, scorning the base degrees by which he did ascend, so Caesar may. And lest he may prevent. And since the quarrel will bear no color for the thing he is, fashion it thus, that what he is, augmented would run to these and these extremities, and therefore think him as a serpent's egg, which hatched would, as his kind, grow mischievous and kill him in the shell.
My lord, we found this paper thus sealed up, and I am sure it was not there when I went to bed.
Get you to bed, Lucius. It is not day. Is not today, Lucius, the Ides of March?
I know not, sir.
Look in my calendar and bring me word.
I will, sir.
Brutus, thou sleepst. Awake and see thyself. Speak, strike, redress. Am I entreated to speak and strike? O Rome, I make thee promise. If thy redress will follow, thou receivest thy full petition at the hand of Brutus. Since Cassius first did wet me against Caesar, I have not slept. Between the acting of a dreadful thing and the first motion, all the interim is like a phantasma or a hideous dream. The genius and the mortal instruments are then in council, and the state of man, like to a little kingdom, suffers then the nature of an insurrection.
Sir, March has wasted 14 days.
This is good. Go to the door, somebody knocks.
It is Cassius who doth desire to see you. There are more with her, but their faces are covered in darkness.
Let him enter and return you to bed.
I think we are too bold upon your rest. Good morrow, Brutus. Do we trouble you?
I've been awake all night. Know I these men that come along with you?
Yes, every one of them, and no one here but honors you.
And every man doth wish you held but that opinion of yourself which every noble Roman bears of you.
This Trebonius,
She is welcome hither.
this Decius,
He is welcome too.
this Casca, this Cinna,
Let us swear a resolution.
No, not an oath. But what other bond than secret Romans that have spoke the word and will not palter? And what other oath than honesty to honesty engaged that this shall be, or we will fall for it? Unto bad causes swear.
Shall no man else be touched, but only Caesar?
Cinna, well urged. I think it is not meet Mark Antony, so well beloved of Caesar, should outlive Caesar. We shall find him a shrewd contriver, which to prevent, let Antony and Caesar fall together.
Our cause will seem too bloody, Caius Cassius, to cut the head and then hack the limbs, for Antony is but a limb of Caesar.
Let us be sacrificers, but not butchers, Caius.
We all stand up against the spirit of Caesar. Oh, that we then could come by Caesar's spirit and not dismember Caesar. But alas, Caesar must bleed for it. And, gentle friends, let us kill him boldly, but not wrathfully.
And for Mark Antony, think not of him, for he can do no more than Caesar's arm when Caesar's head is off.
Yet I fear him.
Alas, good Cassius, do not think of him. For if he loves Caesar, all that he can do is to himself. Take thought and die for Caesar.
But it is doubtful yet whether Caesar will come forth today or no. For he is superstitious grown of yet.
The accustomed terror of this night may hold him from the capital.
Let me work, for I can give his humor the true bent, and I will bring him to the capital.
clock hath stricken 3.
'Tis time to part.
Let not our looks put on our purposes, and so good morrow to you, everyone. Portia, wherefore rise you now?
You ungently, Brutus, stole from my bed. And yesternight at supper you suddenly arose and walked about musing and sighing with your arms across. And when I asked you what the matter was, you stared upon me with ungentle looks. I should not know you, Brutus. Dear my lord, make me acquainted with your cause of grief.
I am not well in health, and that is all.
Brutus is wise, and were he not in health, he would embrace the means to come by it.
And so I do, good Portia. Go to bed.
Is Brutus sick? And is it physical to walk unbraced and suck up the humors of the dank morning? What, is Brutus sick? And will he steal out of his wholesome bed to dare the vile contagion of the night to add unto his sickness? No, my Brutus, you have some sick offense within your mind, which by the right and virtue of my place I ought to know of. And upon my knees, I charm you by my once commended beauty, and by all your vows of love, and that great vow, which did incorporate and make us one, that you unfold to me, yourself, your half, why you are heavy, and what people tonight have had resort to you. For here have been some 6 or 7 who did hide their faces even from darkness.
You not gentle Portia.
I should not need, if you were gentle Brutus. Within the bond of marriage, tell me, Brutus, is it accepted that I should know no secrets that appertain to you? Dwell I but in the suburbs of your good pleasure? If it be no more, Portia is Brutus' harlot, not his wife.
You are my true and honorable wife.
If this were true, then should I know this secret? Tell me your counsels, I will not disclose them. I have made strong proof of my constancy, giving myself a voluntary wound here, in the thigh. Can I bear that with patience, and not my husband's secrets?
O ye gods, render me worthy of this noble wife. Portia, let's go in a while. And by thou shalt partake the secrets of my heart.
No heaven, no earth have been at peace tonight. The Ides of March are come.
Aye, Caesar, but not gone.
What mean you, Caesar? Think you to walk forth?
Caesar shall forth. The things that threaten me and I look but on my back. When they shall see the face of Caesar, they are vanished.
Caesar, I never stood on ceremonies, yet now they fright me. There's one within recounts most horrid sights seen by the watch. Oh, graves have yawned and yielded up their dead. The noise of battle hurtled in the air, and ghosts did shriek and squeal about the streets. Oh, Caesar, these things are beyond all use, and I do fear them.
What can be avoided, whose end is purposed by the mighty gods? Yet Caesar shall go forth, for these predictions are to the world in general, As to Caesar,
When beggars die, there are no comets seen. The heavens themselves blaze forth the death of princes.
cowards die many times before their deaths. The valiant never taste of death but once.
Alas, my lord, your wisdom is consumed in confidence. Do not go forth today. Call it my fear that keeps you in the house, and not your own. We'll send Mark Antony to the Senate House, and he shall say you are not well today. Let me upon my knee prevail in this.
Mark Antony shall say I am not well, and for thy humor I will stay at home.
Caesar, all hail. Good morrow, worthy Caesar. I come to fetch you to the Senate House.
And you are come in very happy time to bear my greeting to the senators and tell them that I will not come today. I cannot its faults, and that I dare not falter. I will not come today. Tell them so, Decius.
Say he is sick.
Shall Caesar send a lie? Decius, go tell them Caesar will not come.
Most mighty Caesar, let me know some cause, lest I be laughed at when I tell them so.
The cause is in my will. I will not come. That is enough to satisfy the senators. Calpurnia, here my wife stays me at home. She dreamt tonight she saw my statue, which like a fountain with 100 spouts did run pure blood, and many lusty Romans came smiling, and did bathe their hands in it. And these does she apply for warnings and portents and evils imminent, and on a knee hath begged that I will stay at home tonight.
This dream is all misinterpreted. It was a vision, fair and fortunate. Your statue spouting blood and many pipes in which so many smiling Romans bathed signifies that from you great Rome shall suck reviving blood, and that great men shall press for tinctures, stains, relics, and cognizance. This by Calpurnia's dream is signified.
And this way have you well expounded it.
I have, when you have heard what I can say. And note now, the Senate hath concluded this day to give a crown to mighty Caesar. If you shall send them word you will not come, their minds may change. Besides, it were a mock apt to be rendered for some one to say, break up the Senate till another time when Caesar's wife shall meet with better dreams. If Caesar hide himself, shall they not whisper, lo, Caesar's afraid?
How foolish do your dreams seem now, Calpurnia. I'm ashamed I did yield to them. Give me my rope. For I will go.
Lady.
I prithee, Lucius, run to the Senate House. Stay not to answer me, but get thee gone. Why dost thou stay?
To know my errand, madam.
I would have had thee there and here again, ere I can tell thee what thou shouldst do there.
Lady, what should I do? Run to the capital and nothing else, and so return to you and nothing else?
Yes, and bring me word if thy lord look well, for he went sickly forth. And take good note what Caesar doth, what suitors press to him. Run, Lucius, and commend me to my lord. Say I am merry. Come to me again, and bring me word what he doth say to thee.
Fear our purpose is discovered. Brutus, what shall be done?
Cassius, be constant. Casca, you are the first that rears your hand.
Where is Decius?
See, Antony, who revels long o' nights, is notwithstanding up. get you a coffee.
Trebonius knows her time. For look you, Brutus, she draws Mark Antony out of the way.
Are we all ready? Word is now amiss that Caesar and his Senate must redress.
Most high, most mighty, and most puissant Caesar, I throw before thy seat a humble
I
heart.
must prevent thee, sinner. Thy brother by decree is banished. If thou dost bend and pray and fawn for him, I spurn thee like a cur out of my way.
Is there no voice more worthy than mine own to sound more sweetly in great Caesar's ear for the repealment of my banished brother?
Hence, will thou lift up Olympus?
Great Caesar.
Doth not Brutus bootless kneel?
I kiss thy hand, but not in flattery, Caesar, desiring thee that Cinna's brother have an immediate freedom of repeal.
What? Brutus!
Pardon, Caesar, Caesar, pardon. As low as to thy foot doth Cassius fall, to beg enfranchisement for Cinna's kin.
I could be well moved, if I were as you. If I could pray to move, prayers would move me, but I am constant as the northern star, of whose true fix and resting quality there is no fellow in the firmament. The skies are painted with unnumbered sparks, yet in the number I do know but one that unassailable holds on his rank unshaked of motion, and that I am he. Let me a little show it even in this, that I was constant that her brother should be.
Brote.
Fall.
Zero.
Liberty. Freedom. Tyranny is dead! Let us run and cry it about the streets!
Summon to the common pulpit. Cry out, liberty, freedom, and enfranchisement.
The Romans fly not. Stand still. Ambition's debt is paid. Cinna the poet, good cheers. No. There is no harm intended to your persons, nor to no Roman else. So tell her, Cassius.
And leave us, Cinna, lest that the people rushing on us should do your age some mischief.
Do so, and let no one abide this deed but we the doers.
Where's Antony?
Fled to his house, amazed. Men, wives, and children stare, cry out, and run as it were doomsday.
Stoop, Romans. Stoop, and let us bathe our hands in Caesar's blood. Then walk we forth, even to the marketplace. Let's cry out, peace, freedom, liberty.
Stoop then and wash. How many ages hence shall this, our lofty scene, be acted forth in states unborn and accents yet unknown?
Show you forth?
Aye. Everyone away. Brutus will lead us, and we will grace his heels with the most boldest and best hearts of Rome.
So, who comes here?
A friend of Antony's.
Thus did Mark Antony bid me fall down, and being prostrate, he thus bade me say, Brutus is noble, valiant, wise, and honest. And Caesar was mighty, bold, royal, and loving. If Brutus will vouchsafe that Antony may come to him safely, and be resolved how Caesar hath deserved to lie in death, Mark Antony shall not love Caesar dead so well as Brutus living. So says my master Antony.
Your master is a wise and valiant Roman. Tell him, so please him, come forth onto this place. He shall be pleased, and for mine honor, depart untouched.
I'll fetch him presently.
I think we will have him well to friend. Welcome, Mark Antony.
Mighty Caesar, dost thou lie so low? I know not, gentle, is what you do intend. Who else must be let blood? Who else is rank? If I, myself, there is no hour so fit as Caesar's death's hour. Live 1,000 years, I shall not find myself so apt to die.
Oh, beg not your death of us, Mark Antony. Though now we must appear bloody and cruel, our hearts you seek not, they are full of pity. To you our swords have led in points, Mark Antony. Only be patient. We have appeased the multitudes that are beside themselves with fear. And then we will deliver to you why I that did love Caesar, struck him, have thus proceeded.
I doubt not of your wisdom. Let each one render me their bloody hand. Alas, what shall I say? That I did love thee, Caesar, oh, 'tis true.
I blame you not for praising Caesar so, but what compact mean you to have with us?
Will you be pricked in number of our friends, or shall we on and not depend on you?
Friends am I with you all, and love you all, upon this hope that you shall give me reason why and wherein Caesar was dangerous.
Or else this were a savage spectacle. We are so full of good regard that were you, Antony, the son of Caesar, you should be satisfied.
That's all I seek. And a moreover suitor, that I may produce his body into the marketplace, and in the pulpit, as becomes a friend, speak in the order of his funeral.
You shall, Mark Antony.
Brutus, a word with you. You know not what you do. Do not consent Mark Antony speak at his funeral. Know you how much the people may be moved from that which you will utter?
By your pardon, I will myself into the pulpit first. It shall advantage more than do us wrong. Mark Antony, here. Take Caesar's body. In your speech, you shall not blame us, but speak all good you can devise of Caesar, and say you do it by our permission. And you shall speak into the same pulpit whereto I am going after my speech is ended.
Be it so. I do desire no more.
Prepare the body then.
Pardon me, thou bleeding piece of earth, that I am meek and gentle with these butchers. Thou art the ruins of the noblest man that ever lived in the tide of times. Woe to the hand that shed this costly blood. Over thy wounds now do I prophesy, which like dumb mouths do ope their ruby lips to beg the voice and utterance of my tongue. A curse shall light upon the limbs of men. Domestic fury and fierce civil strife shall cumber all the parts of Italy. Blood and destruction shall be so in use, and dreadful objects so familiar, that mothers shall but smile when they behold their infants being quartered with the hands of war. All pity chokes with custom of fell deeds. And Caesar's spirit, ranging for revenge with Tate by his side, come hot from hell, shall in these confines with a monarch's voice cry, havoc, and let slip the dogs of war. You serve Octavius Caesar, do you not?
I do, Mark Antony.
Caesar did right for her to come to Rome.
She did receive his letters and is coming, and bid me say to you by word of mouth, "Oh, Caesar."
Thy heart is big. Get thee apart and weep. Passion I see is catching. Is thy mistress coming?
She lies tonight within 7 leagues of Rome.
Post back with speed. Tell her what hath chanced. Here is a mourning Rome, a dangerous Rome. No Rome of safety for Octavius yet. High Hanson, tell her so. Yet stay a while. Thou shalt not back till I have borne this corse into the marketplace. Lend me thy hand.
Romans, countrymen, lovers, hear me for my cause and be silent. Believe me for mine honor and have respect to mine honor, that you may believe. If there be any in this assembly, any dear friend of Caesar's, to him I say, that Brutus's love to Caesar was no less than his. If then that friend demand why Brutus rose against Caesar, this is my answer. Not that I loved Caesar less, but that I loved Rome more. Had you rather Caesar were living and die all slaves, than that Caesar were dead and live all free? As Caesar loved me, I weep for him. As he was valiant, I honor him. But as he was ambitious, I slew him. There is tears for his love, honor for his valor, and death for his ambition. Who here is so base that would be a bondman? If any speak, for him have I offended. Who is here so rude that would not be a Roman? If any speak, for him have I offended. Who is here so vile that would not love his country? If any speak, for him have I offended. I pause for a reply. Then none have I offended. I have done no more to Caesar than you shall do to Brutus. Here comes Mark Antony, who, though he had no hand in Caesar's death, shall receive the benefits of his dying, a place in the commonwealth, as which of you shall not? With this I depart, that as I slew my best lover for the good of Rome, here I have the same dagger for myself, when it shall please my country to need my death,
Live, Brutus. Bring him with triumph home onto his
Countrymen,
house.
Peace. Brutus speaks.
countrymen, let me depart alone. For my sake, stay here with Antony. Do grace to Caesar's corpse, and grace his speech, tending to the triumphs of Caesar, which Antony, by our permission, is allowed to make. I do entreat you, let no man depart, save I alone, till Antony have spoke.
For Brutus' sake, I am beholding to you. You gentle Romans, friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is often tarred with their bones, so let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered it. Here, under leave of Brutus and the rest, come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. Eras mi compadre, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? Cuando los pobres lloran, también llora César. La ambición es más convincente que eso. Y como dice Brutus, que no era ambicioso, y no es Brutus, es un hombre honroso. You all did see that on the Lupercal, I thrice presented him a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? But Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure, he is an honorable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for him? Judgment! Thou art fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till it come back to me.
Methinks there is much reason in his sayings.
Mark to his words, he would not take the crown, therefore 'tis certain he was not ambitious.
If it be so, some will dear abide it.
There's not a nobler man in Rome than Antony.
Now mark him, he begins again to speak.
But yesterday, the word of Caesar might have stood against the world. Now lies he there, and none so poor to do him reverence. Masters, if I were disposed to stir your hearts and minds to mutiny and rage, I should do Brutus wrong and Cassius wrong, who you all know are honorable both. I will not do them wrong. I rather choose to wrong the dead, to wrong myself and you, than I will wrong such honorable men. But here's a parchment with the seal of Caesar. I found it in his closet. 'Tis his will. Let but the commons hear this testament, which, pardon me, I do not mean to read, and they would go and kiss dead Caesar's wounds.
We'll hear the will. Read it, Mark Antony.
The will.
Let's hear Caesar's will.
Have patience, gentle friends. I must not read it. It is not meet you know how Caesar loved you, for if you did, what would come of it?
We'll hear the will, Antony. Read us the will.
I have o'ershot myself to tell you of it. I fear I wrong the honorable ones whose daggers have stabbed Caesar. I do fear it.
They were traitors.
The will.
They were villains, murderers.
The will. If you have tears, prepare to shed them now. You all do know this mantle. I remember the first time ever Caesar put it on. Look, in this place ran Cassius' dagger through. See what a rent the envious Casca made? Through this, the noble Brutus stabbed. And as he plucked his cursed steel away, mark how the blood of Caesar followed it, as rushing out of doors. To be resolved if Brutus so unkindly knocked or no. For as you know, Brutus was Caesar's angel. This was the most unkindest cut of all. For when the noble Caesar saw him stabbed, ingratitude, more strong than traitor's arms, quite vanquished him, and burst his mighty heart, even at the base of Pompey's statue, which all the while ran blood. Great Caesar fell. Oh, what a fall was there, my countrymen. Then I and you and all of us fell down, whilst bloody treason flourished over us. Oh, now you weep, and I perceive you feel the dint of pity. These are grace's drops. What? Kind souls. Weep you when you but behold our Caesar's vesture wounded? Look you here. Here is himself marred as you see, with traitors.
O noble Caesar, O woeful day.
O traitors, villains, we will be revenged.
Good friends, sweet friends, let me not stir you up to such a sudden flood of mutiny. I come not, friends, to steal away your hearts. I am no orator as Brutus is, for I have neither wit nor words, nor worth, action, nor utterance to stir men's blood. I only speak right on, tell you that which you yourselves do know, show you sweet Caesar's wounds, poor dumb mouths, and bid them speak for me. But were I Brutus and Brutus Antony, there were an Antony would ruffle up your spirits and put a tongue in every wound of Caesar that should move the stones of Rome to rise in mutiny.
Let us burn the house of Brutus.
Here is the will, and under Caesar's seal, to every Roman citizen, to every several one, he gives 75 drachmas. Moreover, he hath left you all his walks, his private arbors, and new planted orchards on this side Tiber. He hath left them you, and to your heirs forever, to recreate yourselves. This was a Caesar. When comes such another?
Away!
I dreamt last night that I did feast with Caesar, and things unlucky charged my fantasy.
What is your name? Whither are you going?
Directly, I'm going to Caesar's funeral.
As a friend? Or an enemy?
As a friend.
Your name? Truly.
Truly, my name is Cinna.
Tear her to pieces. She's a conspirator.
I am Cinna the poet. I am Cinna the poet. I am not Cinna the conspirator.
'Tis no matter. Her name is Cinna. Pluck but her name out of her heart.
Mischief thou art afoot. Take thou what course thou wilt.
Sir, Octavius has already come to Rome.
Where is she?
She is at Caesar's house.
And thither will I straight to visit her.
I heard her say, Brutus and Cassius are rid like madmen through the gates of Rome.
Be like they had some notice of the people, how I did move them. Bring me to Octavius. Entonces, esta calidad de gente tiene que morir, sus nombres ya están escogidos.
Y tu primo también. Dase el permiso.
Estoy de acuerdo.
Márcalo, Antony.
Él no va a vivir. Míralo. Con esta marca lo maldigo. Go you to Caesar's house, fetch the will hither, and we shall determine how to cut off some charge and legacies. And now, Octavius, listen. Great things. Brutus and Cassius are levying their powers. We must straight make head. Therefore, let our alliance be combined, our best friends made, our means stretched, and let us presently go sit in council how covert matters may be best disclosed, and open perils surest answered.
Let us do so, for we are at the stake and bait about with many enemies. And some that smile have in their hearts, I fear, millions of mischiefs.
Cassius is at hand, and Trebonius come.
Greetings, my good lord.
Your general Cassius have given me worthy cause to wish things done undone. But if she be at hand, I shall be satisfied.
I do not doubt my general will appear such as she is, full of regard and honor.
Most noble brother, you have done me wrong.
Speak, O griefs, softly before the eyes of both our armies here. Come.
That you have wronged me doth appear in this. You have condemned and noted Lucius Pella for taking bribes here of the Sardians, wherein my letters, praying on his side, because I knew the man were slighted off.
Let me tell you, Cassius, you yourself are much condemned to have an itching palm, to sell and mart your offices for gold to undeservers.
I an itching palm. You do know you are Brutus that speak this, or by the gods this speech were else your last.
Remember March. The Ides of March, remember? Did not great Julius bleed for justice' sake? What villain touched his body that did stab and not for justice? What? Shall one of us contaminate our fingers with base bribes and sell the mighty honors of our large spaces for so much trash as may be grasped thus? I had rather be a dog and bathe the moon than such a Roman.
Brutus, bait, not me. I'll not endure it. You forget yourself to hedge me in. I am a soldier, older in practice, abler than yourself to make conditions.
You are not, Cassius.
I am.
I say you are not.
Urge me no more, I shall forget myself.
Away, slight woman.
Oh, ye gods. Ye gods, must I endure all this?
All this, I more. For from this day forth, I'll use you for my mirth, yea, for my laughter when you are waspish.
Is it come to this?
You say you are a better soldier. Let it appear so. Make your vaunting true, it shall please me well.
You wrong me every way. You wrong me, Brutus. I said an elder soldier, not a better. Did I say better?
If you did, I care not.
When Caesar lived, he durst not thus have moved me.
Peace, peace. You durst not so have tempted him.
What? I durst not?
No.
What? Durst not tempt him?
For your life you durst not.
Do not presume too much upon my love. I may do that I shall be sorry for.
You have done that, which you should be sorry for. There is no terror, Cassius, in your threats. For I am armed so strong in honesty that they pass me by as the idle wind which I respect not. I did send to you for certain sums of gold to pay my legions, which you denied me. Was that done like Cassius? Should I have answered Caius Cassius so? When Marcus Brutus grows so covetous, dash him to pieces.
I denied you not.
You did!
I did not. He was but a fool that brought my answer back. Brutus hath rived my heart. A friend should bear his friend's infirmities, but Brutus hath made mine greater than they are.
I do not till you practice them on me.
You love me not.
I do not like your faults.
A friendly eye could never see such faults.
A flatterers would not, though they do appear as huge as high Olympus.
Come, Antony, and young Octavius, come. Revenge yourselves alone on Cassius. If thou beest a Roman, take it forth.
I that deny thee gold will give my heart.
Strike as thou didst at Caesar, for I know, when thou didst hate him worst, thou lovest him better
Than ever thou lovest Cassius.
Sheath your dagger. Be angry when you will, it shall have scope. Oh, Cassius. You are yoked with a lamb that carries anger as the flint bears fire.
Had Cassius lived to be but mirth and laughter to her, Brutus?
But I spoke that I was ill-tempered too.
Do you confess so much? Give me your hand.
And my heart, too.
I did not think you could have been so angry.
Oh, Cassius, I am sick with many griefs.
Of your philosophy you make no use if you give place to accidental evils.
No man bears sorrow better. Portia, she is dead.
Portia?
She's dead.
How scared I kill you when I crossed you so. Oh, insupportable and touching loss. Upon what sickness?
Impatient by my absence. And grief that young Octavius and Mark Antony have made themselves so strong. For with her death, that tidings came. With this she fell distract, and her attendants, absent, swallowed fire.
And died so?
Even so, speak of her no more. With this, I bury all unkindness, Cassius. Enter Trebonius, Theseus. Welcome, Romans.
Portia, art thou come?
Trebonius. I have here received letter that young Octavius and Mark Antony come down upon us with a mighty power.
Myself have letters of the self-same tenor.
Well, to our work alive, what do you think of marching into Philippi presently?
I do not think it good.
Your reason?
'Tis better the enemy seek us. So shall he waste his means, weary his soldiers.
The people twixt Philippi and this ground do stand, but in a forced affection. The enemy marching along by them shall make fuller number up, for which advantage we shall cut them off. If at Philippi we face them there, these people at our back.
Then with your will go on. Will along ourselves and meet them at Philippi.
The deep of night has crept into our talk, and nature must obey necessity. There's no more to say.
No more. Good night.
Lucius. Where's thy instrument?
Here in the tent, my lord.
What? Thou speak so drowsily. Canst thou hold thy heavy eyes awhile and touch thy instruments, a string or two?
Aye, my lord. And please you.
Hi, Lucius. It does. This is a sleepy tomb? Oh, murderous slumber. Gentle knave, good night. Who goes there? Art thou some god, some angel, or some devil that makes my blood code speak to me what thou art?
Thy evil spirit, Brutus.
Why comest thou?
To tell thee thou shalt see me at Philippi.
I shall see thee again.
Aye, at Philippi.
Well then, I shall see thee at Philippi then. Ill spirit, I will have more talk with thee! Lucius, awake.
My lord.
Didst thou dream, Lucius? Didst thou see anything?
Nothing, my lord.
Go command me to my sister Cassius. Bid her set her powers the times before. We will follow.
It shall be done, my lord.
Now, Antony, our hopes are answered. You said the enemy would not come down, but keep the hills and upper regions. It proves not so. Their battles are at hand.
I'm in their bosoms, and I know wherefore they do it. Brutus there comes down to fasten in our thoughts that they have courage, but 'tis not so.
Come, Antony, shall we give the sign of battle?
No, Caesar. We will answer their charge. Make forth. The generals would have some words.
Words before blows. Is it so, countrymen?
Not that we love words better, as you do.
Good words are better than bad strokes, Octavius.
In your bad strokes, Brutus, you give good words. Witness the hole you made in Caesar's heart, crying, "Long live, hail Caesar."
Come, the cause. If arguing make us sweat, the proof of it would turn to redder drops. I was not born to die on Brutus' sword.
If thou wert the noblest of thy strain, young one, thou couldst not die more honorable.
Peevish schoolgirl, worthless of such honor.
Old Cassius, still.
Come, Antony, away. Defiance, traitor, hurl we in your teeth. If you dare fight today, come to the field. If not, then you have stomachs.
The storm is up. Now, most noble Brutus, if we do lose this battle, then is this the very last time we shall speak together? And if we lose this battle, what then are you determined to do?
Think not, thou noble Roman, that ever Brutus will go bound to Rome. He bears too great a mind. But this day must end that work the Ides of March begun. And whether we shall meet again, I know not. Therefore, our everlasting farewell take. Forever and forever. Farewell, Cassius.
Forever and forever.
Farewell, Brutus.
Why then, lead on. Oh, that man might know the end of this day's business ere it come.
Oh, Cassius! Brutus gave the call too early. His soldiers fell to spoil by Antony.
Fly further off, Romans, fly further off. Mark Antony is in your tents, Cassius.
Are those my tents where I perceive the fire?
They are, my lady.
Trebonius, if thou lovest me, bring me word that I may rest assured that yonder troops are friend or enemy. Go, Odysseus. Get higher on that wall and tell me what thou knowest about the field. This is my birthday. Time has come around. And where I did begin, now I shall end. Life has run its compass.
Cassius.
What news?
Trebonius isn't close at all around. Yet she spurs on. They are almost on her. Now, Trebonius! Now some light. She's taken.
Oh, coward that I am to live so long. To see my best friend taken before my face. Come hither, Sirrah. Come now. Keep thine oath. Now with the sword that ran through Caesar's bowels, search this bosom. Stand not to answer. Here. And when my face is covered, guide the sword. Kill me. Caesar, thou art revenged.
Far from this country, Decius shall run, where never Roman shall take note of me.
It is but change, Trebonius, for Octavius is overthrown by noble Brutus' power as Cassius' legions are by Antony.
These tidings will well comfort Cassius.
Is not that she that lies upon the ground?
She lies not like the living.
Oh, my heart. It's not that she. No, this was she, Cinna. That Cassius is no more. Oh, setting sun. As in thy red rays thou dost sing tonight, so in her red blood Cassius' sun is set. The sun of Rome is set. Our deeds are done. What, Decius? Where art thou, Decius? Seek him, whilst I go to find the noble Brutus.
Go.
Why didst thou send me forth?
Brave Cassius, it's not I meet thy friends. Didst thou not hear their shouts? Alas, thou hast misconstrued everything. But hold thee. Brutus, come apace. See how I regarded Caius Cassius. By your leave, gods. This is a Roman's part. Come, Cassius' sword, and find Trebonius' heart.
Her body lie
Yonder, and Trebonius mourning it.
Trebonius is slain.
Oh, Julius Caesar, thou art mighty yet. Thy spirit walks abroad and turns our swords into our proper entrails. Are there two Romans living such as these? The last of all the Romans. Fare thee well. Oh, friends, I owe this woman more tears than thou shalt see me pay. I shall find time, Cassius. I shall find time. Yet, countrymen, oh, yet hold your heads up. Set our battles on, Romans, ere at night we shall test fortune in a second fight!
Bastard doth not. Who will go with me? Huh? I will proclaim my name about the field. I am Brutus! Yes! Marcus Brutus, I! My country's friend! Know me for Brutus!
Yield, or thou diest.
Kill Brutus and be honored in his death.
We must not. A noble prisoner.
Antony! Brutus is taken.
Brutus is taken, my lord.
This is not Brutus, friend, but I assure you a prize no less in worth. Go on and see whether Brutus be alive or dead, and bring us word unto Octavius' tent how everything is chanced.
Oh, come, my poor friend, and sit upon this rock.
Casca showed the torchlight, but he came not back, my lord. He's either ta'en or slain.
Sit thee down, Lucius. Slain is the word.
What says my lord?
The ghost of Caesar hath appeared to me. I know my hour is come.
Not so, my lord.
Nay, I am sure of it, good Lucius. Thou seest the world, my Lucius, how it goes. The enemy hath beat us to a pit. It is more worthy to leap in ourselves than to tarry till they push us in.
Fly, fly, my lord, there is no tarrying here.
I pray thee, Lucius, stay thou by thy lord. Thou art a fellow of some good respect. Thy life hath had some smatch of honor in it. Hold then my sword, and turn thy face a while I run upon it. Wilt thou, Lucius?
Give me your hand first. Very well, sir.
Farewell, Lucius.
Now be still.
What man is this?
So Brutus should be found.
This was the noblest Roman of them all. All the conspirators, save only he, did that they did in envy of great Caesar. He only, in a general honest thought and common good to all, made one of them. His life was gentle, and the elements so mixed in him that nature might stand up and say to all the world, this was a man.
According to his virtue, let us use him, with all respects and rites of burial. Within my tent tonight his bones shall lie, most like a soldier ordered honorably. So call the field to rest, and let's away, to part the glories of this happy day.
Amaze me blindfold in my eyes. Inside the dark, all that I see is imaginary pictures of all my things, you and me. You and me. How open is your empty space? I'm moving in, we'll see the end of something unfamiliar. I saw your hand, it took a while. The cold was crisp, I thought your warmth would break the silence. But all I hear is sirens. Take me far and far from safety, lands where you tried to chase me. On hollow ground, navigating this mystery while I follow you into your history. The melting snow under my feet, your running rivers full of diamonds, but all